Okay, so this is the wig fresh out of the package that I got from Amazon. I'm pretty much just running my fingers through it, trying to see what's going on, making sure it's not too tangled or anything like that. This is the first time that I'm gonna have a blonde wig and I'm actually going to keep it blonde, so I just wanted to inspect it really good. This is a T-part wig, so I was just looking at the part in the middle. As you saw, it looked a little raggedy, but we're gonna fix that. And yep, just looking around the parameters, the edges of the wig, the hairline, etc., etc. I'm pretty thorough because I've ordered wigs before and it was supposed to be one type of lace and it wasn't that. I knew this was a T part though, so I wasn't really tripping, but I just wanted to make sure that everything looked good and everything was constructed properly before I really started putting my hands into it. And this is 22 inches, I believe. I'll link everything. So, yeah, 40 volume developer, my brushes, mixing bowl. I used 2 bottles of Wella T35 to tone. I wanted it to be an ash blonde, but I didn't really want it to be gray, if that makes sense. Most ash blondes, they come off kind of gray to me. But the color that I got ended up being like perfect for my complexion and everything. Those were used, or those are going to be used on the part, and we'll do that later. Those are by Wella as well. Color Tango for that, and those are going to be mixed with the developer as well. And that's just showing you. It was like, it's a brown box and like a gray box, but both of the colors were brown tones. So yeah, this is my boiling water. I had sitting there waiting for me. This definitely, I've only seen it done in hot water. I assume that is just how it's supposed to be done. I wouldn't recommend doing it in cold water. So yeah, hot water works for me. I'm sure it'll work for you too. So yeah, I'm just pouring everything in. When it comes to the ratios of the toner and the developer, it's like a 2-to-1 ratio. So 1 bottle of toner to 2 developer. So I ended up obviously 2 bottles of toner, 4 parts developer. So that's what I'm doing here, filling up each of the bottles twice. That way I get all of my product out. I didn't want to waste anything. Oh, and also as you see, my container of water isn't a huge storage container. I feel like the more water you have, the less saturation the hair is going to receive. So I prefer to use smaller Tupperware containers. If it's just one wig, I don't really need anything super huge. So yeah, this is me running my fingers through it one more time just to make sure before we go in there. And you can see the water has a pink tone to it. That means that the product and the the developer are working together. So, and I'm just using the brush to get it in there good, get it nice and saturated. Using for the developer, I was a little nervous because I didn't want it to turn too quick. Like I said, this is my first time actually having a blonde wig and keeping it in the blonde family. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't overdo it. So the timing, I want to say total, I left it in for about 15 minutes. I think the first time I left it in for about 5, and I went back and left it in for 10. I didn't leave it in for no more than 20 minutes though, I want to say. So yeah, 5 minutes for this. So this was 5 minutes later. I came back. I had to put a glove on because obviously hot water. Just checking out the color. I'm seeing that it's not as orange, not as yellow. It's getting to kind of where I want it to be. So we let it sit a little longer. So then I came back. I saw it look pretty good to me. So this was after I had rinsed it. So that's the color that we're working with now. In regards to the middle part and around the edges, with this being a T-part wig, I don't really intend on doing much with it but wearing it down the middle. Most of my wigs I wear down the middle. It just depends. For this, I really just wanted it to be straight down the middle. With it being my first blonde wig, I didn't want to do too much. I didn't have to do too much with the baby hairs. I just wanted it to be real clean and simple. And that's what I got. And that's what I like in regards to the blonde hair with this. So I wanted to make sure that my part looked as natural as possible. I don't tweeze. It's just not something that I do. If I need to, I will. But for the most part, I think I can finesse it without having to tweeze my parts too crazy. Ignore how I am mixing this. I think at this point, I was just really tired and like slightly over it or half sleep. It's one of the three. But I definitely didn't get these ratios right. I ended up redoing it, but you'll see when I start stirring it up, it's like, what is that even? We just went over this whole 2-to-1 thing, and I don't know why I thought a dab of this and a dab of that was going to be enough to suffice. Yeah, I'm just pretty much measuring this out, trying to get it together. And then I had the nerve to show y'all. Wow, okay. Like I said, I did end up redistributing this. That thing looks like a mango Italian ice or something. But yeah. And it looks orange. So I was kind of freaking out because I didn't want to go and put orange on this wig after I just tried so hard to make it so that it wasn't orange. So this was after I applied it, and I was freaking out a little bit because the texture wasn't as thick, and you can see I was like, oh my goodness, it's getting on the front. I gotta rinse this out. So this was after I rinsed it out. That's all the product that was left over. Just wasteful. Wasteful, wasteful. But this is after the wig has been rinsed out from all of the processing and the coloring and the be thinking I know what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm just checking the part out, making sure that it doesn't look too crazy. I think it has a nice little tint to it. I put powder on my parts anyway, so this gave me just enough. It gave me just enough. And it looks really natural. It blends really well for what it's worth. So yeah, combing through it. Don't come at me for combing it. I had to comb it. I had to get it together. And I wanted to see what the difference would be in regards to the shedding once the hair had gotten wet. This was pretty much just me trying to find the part and make it as even as possible on both sides to get an idea of what it's going to look like when it lays down. But I love it. I think the color came out so pretty. So yeah. Just making sure that nothing looks too brassy, nothing looks orange, crazy, nothing like that. So yeah, it's definitely a difference. This was after I put it on the wig head, showing you all the hair that came out. And I'm going to put a video in here of a few hours later on the same day once I blow dried the hair and everything like that. It's 10:10 at night. I dyed this hair about 1-2 o'clock today. I know that the color is gonna get deeper the longer it sits, so this is like an 8 hour, so you can see what it's Robin Givens. So yeah, this was 4 days after that. This was Thursday, I want to say, and this was the second time I had put it on. Like I said, the color just turned out so good, and I really like it. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and yeah, this is what I kind of like to do. Playing with colors until I find, what I like, what I want to keep. And if I don't like it, I will change it, and I will upload a video of that too as well, where I changed a wig from one color to another. But yeah, thanks for watching, y'all. There's all my social media.